Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. 1 minute only. Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Lila. Chapter 4, text 70. Is that 70 on the board? 71. Here. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yasodhanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yasodhanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yasodhanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yasodhanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Shri Radha Jaya Radha Gopinatha Radha Gopinatha Shri Radha Jaya Radha Parthasarthi Radha Parthasarthi Radha Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman Sita Ram Jaya Lakshman Hanuman Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai go Haribo, 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 go Haribo. Dam Vistapad Brahmsa Paribrajikacharya Asto Tarashachi Srimad. His Divine Grace Srila Abhay Charana Ravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Nichalila Pavishta Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Paribrajikacharya Asto Tarashachi Srimad. His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Jai Shri Rup Sri Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Sajiva Gopala Bhatta Das Raghunath Saj Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Ramacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Shikaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaura Bhaktaminda Ki Jai. Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Sri Vrajabhumi Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Mathura Dham Ki Jai, Sri Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai, Ganga Mai Ki Jai, Yamuna Mai Ki Jai, Tulsi Devi Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Sri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Sankirtan Yagya Ki Jai, Samaveda Bhaktabinda Ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shikuru and Shri Gauranga. The Hindi translation is on the FM 92.0. That is in English, what I said. But FM Hindi Pravachan 92.0. Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishna Bhutale Shmari Go Krishna Goswami Tamane Prabhupada Shaityamya Pakasha Vidyaja Charan Kirpan Sadhu Gatpate Namah Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine. Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya-lila, chapter 4, Sanatan Goswami visits the Lord. Text number 71. Taramadye sarvasesta nama sankirtana Niraparadhe nama lailipaya prema dhana Taramadye sarvasresta nama sankirtana Niraparade nama lailipaya prema dhana Taramadye sarvasresta nama sankirtana Niraparade nama lailipaya prema dhana Mataji's. Word for word meaning. Tara Madhye. Of the 9 different types of devotional service. Sarvasreshta. The most important of all. Nama Sankirtana. Chanting of the holy name of the Lord. Niraparade, without offenses. Nama laile, if one chants the holy name, Paya, he gets. Prema dana, the most valuable ecstatic love of Krishna. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Of the 9 processes of devotional service, the most important is to always chant the holy name of the Lord. If one does so, avoiding the 10 kinds of offenses, one very easily obtains the most valuable love of Godhead. Everybody please repeat after me. Of the 9 processes of devotional service, The most important is to always chant the holy name of the Lord. If one does so, avoiding the 10 kinds of offenses, one very easily obtains the most valuable love of Godhead. Purport. Srila Jiva Goswami Prabhu gives the following directions in his Bhakti Sandarbha 270. Iyam cha kirtanakya bhaktir bhagavato drabhya jati guna kriyabhir dina janaika visayapara karuna mayiti shruti puranadhi vishruti ata eva kalo sabavato evati dineshu lokeshu abhirbhuyatan anayasinaiva tattad yuga gatamaha sadhananam sarvam eva palang dadhanasa kritartayati yata eva tayaivo kalo bhagavato visesata sa santosa bhavati. Chanting the holy name is the chief means of attaining love of Godhead. This chanting or devotional service does not depend on any paraphernalia, nor one's having taken birth in a good family. By humility and meekness, one attracts the attention of Krishna. That is the verdict of all the Vedas. Therefore, if one becomes very humble and meek, he can easily attain the lotus feet of Krishna in this age of Kali. That is the fulfillment of all great sacrifices, penances, and austerities. Because when one achieves ecstatic love of Godhead, he attains the complete perfection of life. Therefore, whatever one does in executing devotional service must be accompanied by the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. The chanting of the holy name of Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, has been praised by Srila Rupa Goswami in his Nama Astakam, verse 1. Nikila Shutimauli Ratnamala Jyoti Nirajita Padapankajanta Ayi Mukta Kulair Upashamanam Paritastvam Harinama Samsrayami. O Harinam, the tips of the toes of your lotus feet are constantly being worshipped by the glowing radiance emanating from the string of gems known as the Upanishads, the crown jewels of all the Vedas. You are eternally adored by liberated souls such as Narada and Shukadev. O Harinam, I take complete shelter of you. Similarly, Srila Sanatana Goswami has praised the chanting of the holy name as follows in his Brihad Bhagavatamrita, Part 1, Chapter 1, Verse 9. Jayati Jayati Namananda Rupam Murarir Viramita Nijadharma Jana Pujati Yatnam Katam Api Sakrid Atam Muktidam Praninam Yat Paramang Amritam Ekam Jibanang Bhushanang Me. All glories to the all-blissful holy name of Sri Krishna, which causes the devotee to give up all conventional religious duties, meditation, and worship. When somehow or other uttered even once by a living entity, the holy name awards him liberation. The holy name of Krishna is the highest nectar. It is my very life and my only treasure. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 1, Text 11, Sukadev Goswami says, Etan nirbidhyamananam ichatam akuto bhayam yoginang nipanirnitam harer namanu kirtanam. O King, constant chanting of the holy name of the Lord after the ways of the great authorities is the doubtless and fearless way of success for all, including those who are free from all material desires, those who are desirous of all material enjoyment, and those who are self-satisfied by dint of transcendental knowledge. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 3, Text 22, Yamaraj says, Itavan eva lokesmin pungsang dharma parasmita bhakti yogo bhagavati tannama grahana dibhi. Devotional service beginning with the chanting of the holy name of the Lord is the ultimate religious principle for the living entity in human society. Similarly, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said in his Siksastakam, Tinadapi sunichena taroriba sahisnuna amanena manadena kirtaniya sadahari. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. Regarding the 10 offenses, in chanting the holy name, one may refer to Adi Lila, Chapter 8, verse 24. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Nena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalang Shri Gurung Vaisnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatan Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sarvadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vindavanisvari Vishabhanu Sute Deve Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kipasindubhya evacha Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Again, the text for today. Taramadye sarvasrishta nama sankirtana niraparade nama laile paya premadana. So here is being discussed Supreme Lord explaining about the importance of the holy name of the Lord, specifically the chanting, Nama Sankirtanam. Of all the 9 processes of devotional service, they're all equally important. Srila Prabhupada says one may perform the 9 processes of devotional service, or 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, at least one. And that is the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. One may perform any of the 9 processes of devotional service, but if he doesn't chant the holy name of the Lord, then the Supreme Lord doesn't fully accept one's offering. Srila Prabhupada mentions also one time that of all the instructions from the spiritual master, the utmost, that means the most important, is the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. In 1974, in Germany, he states, "I did not come here to teach you philosophy. I came here to teach you to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, purify yourself, and go back home, back to Godhead." Our life and soul, that's why we are called the Hare Krishna movement. We are known as the Hare Krishna movement. Why? Because we are supposed to be chanting constantly, incessantly, 24 hours a day, the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Even without your beads. Sometimes says, Prabhu, I cannot chant my round. Why? I don't have my beads with me. Or there are 2 kinds of chanting. One is japa and one is kirtan. Japa means individual purification. Is that what we do every day for those who took the formal initiation under a bona fide spiritual master? He agrees that at the time of initiation that he will chant minimum 16 rounds every day. Minimum, not most. The devotee is thinking that, I finished my chanting of 16 rounds. And Prabhupada did that one time in Los Angeles. He was chanting his japa in his japa bead bag. And then, the 16th beads, we have counter beads. So it was like put down. And then he put also the japa, imitating a devotee, put the japa mala on his desk, and he says, "Now I can do any damn thing I want." Actually, when you finish your 16 rounds, your rounds is just starting. For others, they think, I'm done. I'm done for the whole day. I'm free now. Japa, why do we chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra anyway? What is the importance of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra? Because Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is none other than the Supreme Lord himself, actually combined Radha and Krishna, 2 personalities in one. He says that this is the Param Upaya. This is the topmost, and this is the most feasible way how one can attain Krishna Prema, especially in this age of Kali. The chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is important in all the ages, but it is the most important in Kali Yuga. Its importance is so much that one will attain Braja Prem. Not just love of God, but love of God in the mood of the Brajabasis. One can attain love of God and go to Vaikuntha, attain one of the planets of one of the different forms of the Supreme Lord. But if one chants the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra in a pure state of consciousness, without any offenses, one will attain love of God in the mood of the Brajabasis. So how important it is? It depends on one's understanding of why he is chanting. Ultimately, why we chant is we want to revive our original relationship with Krishna. Right now it is covered up. Prabhupada gave an example. Our consciousness is not Krishna conscious right now. It is Maya consciousness. He gave an example. It's like a rain cloud. It's pure in its original state, but when it comes in contact with the earth, it becomes muddied. That is not the original state of the rain cloud or the rain coming from the rain cloud. So similarly, we have an eternal relationship with Krishna. Prabhupada says our main disease is that we have forgotten Krishna. We fall into Maya, and therefore we become covered up by the modes of material nature. So we have this sambandha. This is the initial stage of understanding our eternal relationship with Krishna, is that we are not this body, we're spirit souls, and Krishna is the Supreme Lord, and I am an eternal servant of the Supreme Lord. So there is a need. You will only become perfect in your chanting if you understand that there is a need for me to revive my eternal relationship with Krishna. Because our relationship is being covered up by the material energy. The Supreme Lord is so merciful. In this world where we are right now is the material world. And there are only two living beings. Ourselves, the jivas, and the Nam, the holy name. The holy name is alive. Why? How? Because the holy name is not different than the Lord. When we chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, we try to revive our relationship with the Supreme Lord through His name, who is none different than the Supreme Lord. When we say the holy name, it is not it is He. Nam Prabhu. Nam Prabhu. So in the initial stage, there is what you called Nama Aparad, then Nama Bas, then Sudanam. Our goal, when we start our first round of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, in the morning, in the Brahma Muhurta hour, the most auspicious time, Mangal, most auspicious time of the day, immediately we should set our body, our mind, and our heart in alignment in order to achieve that goal, which is Krishna Prema. It's like when you go to, there is a temple, Sri Rangam. Now, who has been to Sri Rangam? Or is this Ranga Kshetra? Huh? Where is that temple where there's so many doors? Is that the one? There's a temple also in South India where there's only 3 doors. There are 3 doors. Which I can't remember. It starts with R also. Huh? When you enter these 3 doors, the first door, you enter, the second door, you enter, and the third door is like the main altar. So, we have to set our body, understanding we're not this body. That means we're a spirit, soul. In the beginning, when we chant our Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, in a proper posture. It's like Prabhupada said, sit properly. Right? We have to somehow be attentive, be aware of the present. Try to understand that without me having a proper posture, then I may fall asleep. Usually it takes 6 minutes to chant one round of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Now, others, I notice sometimes they have, like their clock or watch. They will check how many minutes they chant for one round. And if you notice that you're chanting 3 minutes, one round, that means you have missed many Krishnas and many Ramas and many Hares. Now, if you notice that if you chanted 20 minutes in one round, that means you are sleeping while doing your rounds, chanting your rounds. Prabhupada says between 6 and 8 minutes. The proper way, or the best way, how to have it more concentrated in the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is to sitting down. But if one is falling asleep, then he can go for a walk also. Japa walk. But it's not as concentrated. Because the mind, especially the mind, which is part of the body, it has to be controlled also. Chanchala mana Krishna. It's very flickering. It goes all over the universe while chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So one has to capture. We need to create a taste for chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, either through japa or through kirtan. So in the japa, we have to, and in the kirtan as well, we have to put this aligned. The body, the mind, and the heart. The mind is subtle. You cannot touch it. You cannot figure out where it's located. And Prabhupada says, it's not possible to control the mind. Don't think you'll be able to control the mind. The only way how you can control the mind is to chant Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. The Mahamantra. Think of Krishna. Manmana babamad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Always think of him. So the way how we can always think of Krishna, the easiest way, the most practical way is to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Now there is the heart. The heart also has to be aligned. Now this heart, there are 3 kinds of hearts. The material heart, which is pumping blood. Then there is the emotional heart, which, sometimes people become emotional. Oh, that person needs some help. Okay, let me help. Even though it is material help. Being compassionate or kind to a friend, but in a different sense, in a material platform. But then there's what you call spiritual heart. That spiritual heart, right now, again, is full of dirt. Cheto darpanamarjanam babamahadavagni nirvapanam. That heart right now is so black, Prabhupada says, is black as a coal. The one that they use as fuel. What kind of blackness is that? Well, why the heart? The heart is so black. Well, that heart has so many anarthas, unwanted desires. And therefore, we're not able to realize Krishna sitting within our heart. When the mind is peaceful, then the super soul is already reached. And the Shastras, the mind and the heart is almost synonymous, almost the same. If you have a clear mind, that means you are peaceful. That means you also have a pure heart, clear heart. In that heart, Krishna, not just Krishna, the entire spiritual world is within your heart. It says in the Bhagavatam, 9th canto, within my heart the devotees reside, and within the heart of my devotees I reside. So that heart, that spiritual heart, will not be opened by our own effort. That can be only opened by Krishna himself. It's like the altar. You cannot open yourself the doors of the altar. Who opens for Krishna? The pujari. It's about time for artik, and the pujari opens so that I can offer to Krishna the puja, the worship. So similarly, we have to endeavor though. But it is up to Krishna's mercy and blessings that He will award us pure devotional service. But we have to do our part. Krishna consciousness is not external. It is more of an internal process of purification. And there is no distinction. Oh, you're rich, you're qualified. You're poor, you're not qualified. You're educated, you're qualified. You're ignorant, fool, you're not qualified. You're young, you're not qualified. This is only for the old people. No, everyone is a candidate, qualified candidate to attain love of God, because this is our natural tendency. Jivera Surup Hoy Krishnera Nichadas. This is our eternal, constitutional position to develop and recover our original loving relationship with the Supreme Lord. So, just like this evening, we'll have Kirtan. Kirtana. Kirtana means to lose your mind and to open your mind. No, both. To release your material mind's conception. Because right now our mind is polluted. And to open the mind for this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. See, according to the scriptures, the Kirtan is more powerful than Japa. But we cannot neglect Japa. Japa has to be done. I know someone, they like Kirtan, but they don't chant Japa. That's not good. It's only Haribol right now, and then after some time, no more Haribol. The potency of one's chanting in the Kirtan reflects one's Japa. It is not a show. Oh, I know many melodies, Prabhuji. I have a new melody today, or, I've learned some melody. No, it's not. Look at Prabhupada. His chanting is so simple, but pure. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nowadays, if you don't have a new tune, you're no good. It's like, oh, Kirtan Mela, oh, there must be a new tune, new melody. Yeah, I want to hear. No! It is how pure you chant the holy name. It's like Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Thakur, he would choose one of his disciples who will chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra out of tune. He says, Gurudev, why are you choosing him to chant? He's out of tune. The timing is wrong. He's the most sincere. When you chant the holy name of the Lord, you need two things: humility and sincerity. The first qualification how to chant the holy name is humility. You cannot chant the holy name purely without being humble. This is what it says in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Brahmanda kuno bhagyavan jeev guru Krishna pasare by bhakti lata bij. This seed of bhakti is implanted by the guru to the heart. Again, that heart is the spiritual heart of the disciple. And the first qualification, how does this bhakti lata bij to grow? You have to pour water, right? And that water is the chanting, hearing and chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. But before you can pour the water, without humility, that bhakti lata bij will not grow. Foremost, humility. So, free the mind, release the mind from material conception, and absorb the holy name of the Lord. Fill in this holy name to the mind. Replace. Krishna consciousness is like this. We transform material activities into spiritual activities. So, in Kirtan, you try to capture the lead singer's how he chant. You be attentive. Because there's a certain mood. The Kirtaniya, the lead Kirtan leader, the leading Kirtaniya, the Kirtan leader, he sets us, he put us into transcendental platform. By his purity, we will make advancement. But you have to listen first to him, how he chants, and the mood he sets. And then after he chanted, you follow the same way how he chanted. You repeat, and then you hear yourself while chanting. You see, japa is different, isn't it? But Prabhupada says also, when you chant japa, you hear yourself, and you should be able to hear others chanting at the same time. If you don't hear others chanting, definitely you are sleeping. But you should not chant too loud that you disturb others. That is japa. But in kirtan, it's loud chanting. That's why it affects everybody. Now the kirtan leader will chant the melody, the tune, and then you try to hear that, capture into your mind, capture into your heart, and then you repeat the same melody, the same kirtan, the same mood as the kirtan leader. And hear it yourself. And this is how it's being done. Sometimes devotees, they try to do it in a different way. Like the Kirtanaya, the leader will, first of all, he will chant in a low tone. But others, the listeners, they try to make it higher. Have you heard of this sometimes? No, that's not proper. You should chant the way he chants. Just like when we recite the Srimad Bhagavatam, the speaker will chant the proper meter or tone, but you should not change it. You can chant the Bhagavatam. Who is that? One of the Goswamis? Was it Gopal Bhatt Goswami? Huh? Raghunath Bhatt, he can chant this many versions, but no, it's not like that. So it can only have an effect. So, in the Harinam Chintamani, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, in this world, there are only two living beings, as we mentioned earlier. So we have to, somehow or other, in Kali Yuga, the Supreme Lord appeared twice. The holy name and the Archa Vigraha form of the Supreme Lord. So to make it complete, we should not take it for granted. this chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, it says in the Bhagavad Gita, Yeya tamam prapadyante tam stataiva bhajami aham. As they surrender unto me, I will reward them accordingly. So accordingly to how we want to attain Krishna consciousness, Krishna will reciprocate. Krishna was a Lord, the Supreme Lord's pure devotee. Srila Prabhupada was once asked also in Germany, how long will it take one to become Krishna conscious? Does it take millions of lifetimes? And Prabhupada says, no, within one lifetime, one can become Krishna conscious. So it depends on what is our purpose, what is our desire, because the holy name of the Lord is considered as Kalpa Vriksha, a wish-fulfilling desire tree. So if you want to attain material desires, the material desires will be fulfilled. However, one will take many, many lifetimes for one to attain Krishna consciousness. These 10 offenses, as mentioned here in the verse, is very important that one should avoid. And the number one offense is Guru Avagya. But in the beginning also, because devotees who dedicated their lives for propagating Krishna consciousness, who are very, very sincere, it doesn't matter whether they may have some shortcomings, we should not disrespect them or we should not offend them. But especially to disobey the orders of the spiritual master, because the spiritual master is not an ordinary man like us. He is a bona fide representative, external representative of the Supreme Lord. That's why Isasa says that one should give respect, equal respect. It's like we do for Krishna, we also do that towards the spiritual master. And why is he so dear to the Supreme Lord? Yes, he's the dearmost to the Supreme Lord because he's always engaged 24 hours a day, and he carries the same mood as the Supreme Lord to liberate the conditioned souls from the cycle of repeated birth and death. We cannot imagine how the potency that one is given by the Supreme Lord towards the spiritual master to save, like he's a representative. So, somehow or other, if we follow his instructions with heart and soul, then we'll also be able to get the blessings and mercy of the Supreme Lord. When we chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, we should think of the spiritual master. When we do puja for the Lord, we also should think of our spiritual master. Well, everything that we do the whole day, we should also always be thinking of Krishna and the spiritual master. When we do puja, we don't do puja in Arctic. We do it on behalf of our Guru. If you think of Guru at the time of death, you also go back home, back to Godhead. There's no difference. There is no, Prabhupada says when he was in New York, there is never a time that I feel separated from my Guru Maharaj. This should be the mood of the disciple. Without the Guru's mercy, we will not be able to attain Krishna. Everything that we do should be always offered to our Guru Maharaj, especially the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So there's so many things to say. I don't have much time. We don't have much time. But we all have time to chant Hare Krishna, isn't it? It's like the materialist. You say, sir, there's a book for you. The main purpose, Prabhupada says, why I wrote these books is to convince you to chant the holy name of the Lord. So whenever you give a book, you are actually giving him the holy name, who is none different than Krishna. And when you become convinced from reading Srila Prabhupada's books, then that doesn't mean you stop reading. You continue to read, and whenever you read Srila Prabhupada's books, you relish the books. It makes sense. In the beginning, it doesn't make sense because our chanting is not really getting the effect. But the more we read, the more our chanting purifies us, then the more we relish Radha, Krishna, Leela, pastimes, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srimad Bhagavatam. Then the more we chant purely, there is no end to this. It's like the competition between the gopis and Krishna. Who is more beautiful, the gopis or Krishna? The gopis. They're happier also. How many times? 10 million times. When the gopi sees Krishna's beauty increases, and the gopis increases 10 million times more than Krishna. When they see Krishna happy, the gopis also become happy 10 million times. And then when Krishna sees the gopis become happy, he also increases his happiness, but not 10 million times. So when you chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and you perform service, because when we chant the holy name of the Lord, we ask for, Oh Srimati Radharani, Oh Krishna, please engage me in your service. The more we chant, the more we should be doing service. The more we do service, the more we make advancement towards going back home, back to Godhead. These are all become pure and more pure and it's unlimited. So grade yourself. What is your purpose? Why you chant the holy name of the Lord? How do I chant the holy name of the Lord? Am I able to develop, like in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, 26 qualities of a pure devotee? I was thinking to type this and put it every day, so I'd read. Hey, I don't think I'm doing that one. I'm not. Automatically, this will be developed in how you chant the holy name of the Lord. There is no extra endeavor. But I was thinking like that this morning. I should type this and put it in a large paper, and just every day I'll just read this. See if I'm able to develop these qualities. See if my chanting is getting effective. So thank you very much. Is there any question or two about the holy name? Yes. Here. Do it. Fast. Yes. Just 1 second, sir. Just 1 second, sir. Just 1 second. Why is this not working?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you Maharaj for enlightening us about the holy name. You spoke about the humility. Humility is the key to advance in Krishna consciousness.
Trinadapi sunechena tarorapi sahisnuna amanena manadena kirtaniya sadahari. Humility. How do you become humble? Prabhupada was asked, Prabhupada, or in those days, Swamiji, how do you become humble? And Prabhupada says, just be humble. How do you eat? You have to eat. How do you be humble? Be humble. There's no other way around it. Accept that you are anu, very small, insignificant. And compare to the tree. Compare to a straw in the street. The grass, you walk on it, doesn't protest. Without humility, you cannot surrender to Krishna. How can you surrender to Krishna if you are full of false ego? If you have false ego, everything is false. Whatever you do is false, really. It's a show. You're a pretender. Because there is no humility. If you cannot understand that you're not the body, it takes a lot of humility to understand that we're not the body, because we're proud of our birth, we're proud of our wealth, we're proud of our family, we're proud of our education. When you take to Krishna consciousness, you give them all up and surrender everything to Krishna. That's why in early days, when they have wealth, whatever money they have, they give it to Prabhupada. Everything. Everything. They have PhD. That's why Prabhupada is so proud of Bhakti Sarup Damodar Maharaj. He's a PhD. But he gave up that, position and bow down. Bow down, mister. And he's so proud because, who can give up all of these things? But first of all, we don't have anything to give up. Yes, sir. Don't turn it off. Is that okay? Okay. Don't turn off, otherwise it'll take you a long time to.
Prabhuji, you talked about the Guru.
Yes, sir.
That there is no salvation without Guru.
Yeah.
If you don't
He
go
is
to
the
his
Bhaya
center.
medium.
I have a small doubt in my mind. That suppose if we make a Guru, and that Guru is fully absorbed in materialism,
Then he's not a guru.
so should we continue to
No.
go to his shelter, or we should give up?
You
him?
can reject. In the Harinam Chintamani, he says you can reject the guru. As soon as the guru deviates from the scriptures, from the Supreme Lord's teachings, because there is no difference, again, the Shastra and the Supreme Lord, then you can reject. But before rejecting, he says in the Harinam Chintamani, you should try to save the guru by saying, please, follow again. And if he follow again, then you can accept him again. But real guru doesn't fall down. There is no fall down with genuine guru. First of all, he's not a guru if he falls down.
Can we respect a religious scripture?
Can you?
Can we respect or can we regard any religious scripture as a guru?
Yes, all the scriptures, they are like the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, the Kabbalah. These are all words of God. But then you must receive them and understand them under a bona fide representative of the Supreme Lord, because you may reinterpret you're not perfect, so you cannot understand them properly. That's why there is the purport from Srila Prabhupada based from the previous guru, and then we'll be able to understand. Respect everyone, even an ant who takes your mahapasad. Okay?
Ji.
Thank you. Last question over there. Oh, what are they? Please give the microphone quick.
Hare Krishna. You wonderfully explained the tattva of Guru and holy name. Maharaj, I had a small question that, as you said, to make advancement and to purify our heart, chanting of the holy name is the process, very nice process. And also, as you explained, that Guru becomes pleased, we automatically advance by our services. Yasya prasadat bhagavad prasadat.
Yes, so?
So, in order to make advancement, what is the harmony between these two processes? To whether should I increase my own chanting or should I help others chanting? Should I invest my time in helping others chant, that is preaching?
Simultaneously, you can do this. Yeah. The effectiveness of your chanting shows by how much you also wanted others to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra purely. We are Gostianandis. We are the best Babajis, but we help others to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Okay? Therefore, you become a Gostianandi. You should be the best chanter and help others to do the same. The more you help others, if you can make only one devotee to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra purely, you go back home, back to Godhead. It's not the quantity here, it's the quality. But the more you chant, the more you will become purified. The offenses in chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra can only be nullified the more you chant. It will be nullified by I stop chanting. The only offense that you cannot nullify by chanting is Vaishnava Aparad. You have to have the mercy and blessings by asking forgiveness from the devotee whom you offended. You may chant and chant and chant till you are blue. You will not be able to get rid of this offense, Vaishnava Parad. And the topmost Vaishnava is our Guru Maharaj. Okay. Last two questions. One there and right there. That's it.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you very much for such a nice and practical teachings, especially for chanting. My question is, as you told, throughout the day we should remember Guru. So, especially while chanting, how can we remember our spiritual master?
It is by His mercy, that's why I'm chanting. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Without you, I will not be here right now. It's the Guru who gave you the mantra. To be, without receiving from disciplic succession the mantra, it will not yield the desired result. But in the beginning, we tell others you chant, but then they still have to take up the diksha. You don't go back home, back to Godhead. No one goes back home, back to Godhead without a guru. But with Krishna, it's like many instances, he directly interact with them. Huh? Yes? Quick. Prasadam is waiting. Don't let Krishna wait for you.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you so much Maharaj for Kirtan standard and regarding tunes also. Just have a little bit query. Maharaj, you just said that Prabhupada has very simple tone of Hare Krishna Mahamantra and we should also chant so that others can follow in Kirtan.
Yes.
But still Maharaj, we have so many Kirtana tunes. We are in touch even in Iskcon also. And if some devotee has aspiration to become a Kirtaniya, then how to select which tunes, which standard to touch and which should not be touched, to follow or not?
That's why the Kirtan leader should be aware of, the Kirtan leader, he's leading us. So a genuine and real leader should be also mindful that whoever will follow me, they'll be able to chant like the way I do. Okay. The problem here is everyone is not like that. They will chant, You never heard that from Srila Prabhupada. But there's nothing wrong with that at the same time. But it should be so easy that, we are actually enjoying and getting purified. See, sometimes devotees, they chant japa. They go like this, right? Because there's some spiritual happiness there. It's like, it's showing. Right? Sometimes devotees chant, that's not how you chant, Prabhu. It should be Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Start slowly. I was just reading. In the beginning, when you chant japa, or not kirtan later, japa, you start slow. The most important, when you first chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and japa, is the first word, Hare. If you can catch that, then try to catch the other. You have to hear the holy name. Prabhupada was once asked, how do you chant the holy name of the Lord? And Prabhupada says, just listen. Try to capture each syllable. So if you're not able to follow the Kirtaniya, I'm sorry. The Kirtaniya should change the melody or the tune so that everybody can follow. That doesn't mean that is wrong on his side, but we cannot because we don't have that ecstasy like he has. He's in a very elevated platform that he can only relish and we cannot relish it. So he has to come down. He has to come down. Prabhupada has to come down. He's not the topmost, but he has to come down to accommodate all of us. So he chanted very simple and everybody can follow. Okay.
Still, Maharaj, will it be purifying?
Huh?
If the Kirtaniya is not coming down like you said, will it be purifying for a listener?
Yeah, it'll be purified, but more purified if you'll be able to follow him. Okay. Srila Prabhupada ke Nitai Gaur Premanande Om Tat Sat. Dhanyavad. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा। सभी भक्तों से प्रार्थना है, कृपया करके प्रसादम के लिए पधारिए। सब लोग प्रसाद ग्रहण कीजिए और ठीक 10 बजे कीर्तन शुरू होगा यहाँ पे। तो हम चाहते हैं ये जगह थोड़ा खाली हो ताकि यहाँ पे हम कारपेट वगैरह डाल सकें। हरे कृष्णा। और हम सब आप सब भक्तों की उपस्थिति चाहते हैं पूरे 12 घंटे के लिए। तो आप अपने टाइम को अपने हिसाब से मैनेज कीजिएगा कि रहें पूरे समय। हरे कृष्णा।